Coming up on the Paper Talk today, we're looking at transfer rumours. It's transfer rumour time. Are Manchester United going to buy Ivan Toney? Are we going to get Jeremie Frimpong? Is Anthony Martial going to go to Spurs? Let's get into it. Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford, so make sure you are getting involved in the comments and also hitting like, share and subscribe. And if you're curious about the weather, it is mild. It's debatable whether you need your Parkers or not. A few stories to get through, so we'll crack on. Lots of transfer stories doing the rounds this morning. I feel like we're entering now the sort of transfer season of news stories where lots of papers publishing stories about players we're linked with, players that could be going. We're expecting a bit of a clear out this summer because of the amount of players we've got that are going to be either out of contracts or coming to the end of their contracts. Joe did it yesterday in his news. He was speaking about that from his travels as well. What a lovely sort of setup he had there, eh? Palm trees in the background and all that, mind you. Ours isn't too shabby. So yeah, we expect a lot of players to leave. Also some players coming in. The usual suspects are doing the rounds as well. There's an Ivan Toney story this morning that I saw, I think it was in the Mirror, saying that Ivan Toney may want to be the highest paid player at Manchester United if he does come here. And the way it was worded was a bit sort of odd, even being honest. It was like Ivan Toney transfer could upset Bruno Fernandes, and you think, well, why is it going to upset him? Well, the idea behind that is that he'll come in and he'll earn more than Bruno Fernandes, who, let's not forget, is the captain. I don't know what's going to happen with Ivan Toney. If push came to shove, I'd probably think he won't come to Manchester United. I'd be pretty surprised if he did. I just feel that because of his age, he's 28, there's nothing wrong with that. He's still got a lot of years left in him, but he's not a young player, is he? He's sort of at his peak right now. The fact that we've got Rasmus Højlund, I don't know if Tony's going to come in, start straight away. Well, you expect if we buy him, he'll come in and start straight away. Højlund drops down to the bench. Is that going to upset the apple cart a little bit? I'm not so sure. Also, since he's come back from his ban, I think his record, is it around 4 goals in 13 games, something like that? Around that mark, it might be 3 in 13. Something. It's decent, but it's not amazing. So I just feel like with Ivan Toney, there's too many sort of doubts or reasons not to sign him than there are reasons to get him, for Manchester United anyway. You let me know what you think. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Listen, if we signed Ivan Toney, I'm not going to moan. He's a very good striker and I expect he'll score goals for Manchester United. I just wonder, with the age, with the fact he's had this ban, with the fact that since he's come back from this ban, his goal scoring record is decent, but it's not that impressive, whether that just puts United off a little bit, plus the fact that you've got Rasmus Højlund as well. I know he's not having an amazing season, he's having a decent one. He blows a little bit hot and cold, doesn't he, in terms of his goals. Banging him in the Champions League, had to wait a long time to start getting off the mark in the Premier League. Banging him in the Premier League, now has stopped scoring a little bit in the Premier League as well. But I feel like next season he'll kick on a little bit. He's still only young, he's 21 years old. Is signing Ivan Toney going to upset him? Would United be better served getting someone who's either an up-and-coming striker who can rotate a little bit, maybe a bit more experienced, who would be happy to drop out of the team when he needs to? Let me know what you think, because it'll be interesting to see what's happening. Just on one striker who won't be here next season, Anthony Martial. I know we've covered this story quite a lot. Sky had it in their Paper Talk. They've copied us, haven't they, with the name of that one, the Paper Talk, saying that Anthony Martial could end up going to Spurs. I think that story originated from the Sun, hashtag don't buy the Sun. He might do, to be honest with you. People might look at that and, well, why would Spurs want him? But let's face that, Spurs have got someone like Timo Werner in, who was a disaster in the Premier League when he was at Chelsea. So Anthony Martial on a free transfer, there might be a Premier League club that thinks, why not, we'll take a punt on him. In terms of ability, Martial's ability is second to none. It's his injury record, and at times, I hate using the word attitude. There are question marks around just how much he's in love with playing football, though. And you might look at it and go, is it a bit of a gamble? But if they could get him on a decent wage, not extortionate, and he's a free transfer, they may feel it's worth taking a punt on. I don't even know if he want to go to Spurs. It's a story doing the rounds. We'll have to wait and see. I just don't expect him to stay at Manchester United next season. I think everyone's been saying it. Romano was tweeting about it. Other people have been saying that they don't see Anthony Martial staying at Manchester United next season, and I can't imagine a world in which he does. I think I said it earlier, I've said it before, said it plenty of times. I think the Sevilla loan should have been the end of it. That should have been him moving on. And now I know the Sevilla loan turned into a disaster, but the fact that he came back and then was given another chance is a little bit baffling to me. Anyway, get involved in the comments in the chat. Let us know what you think about that. Jadon Sancho's another name that keeps doing the rounds. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? I think yesterday the story doing the rounds was that he was going to go. Today in the evening news, he was going to come back, or he could come back, maybe under a different manager, because him and Ten Hag obviously don't get on for reasons that we've already discussed a million times on the channel, and I'm sure you don't need reminding about them. Anyway, the story doing the rounds yesterday was that he could come back under a new manager. He's open to the idea, whatever. The story today is that he might go to Dortmund on a permanent move and they'd be open to that. I think I saw this in the Manchester Evening News, and it's come via the Star, saying that Jadon Sancho could end up going to or staying at Dortmund permanently. That move makes a lot of sense to me. Even if Erik ten Hag isn't the manager at Manchester United next season, with, let's face facts, there's a good chance he won't be. Is the new manager going to want to come in and take on Jadon Sancho, or bring Jadon Sancho back to the fold after what's gone on? He might do. I'm not so sure, though. It does feel like it could be better for all concerned if Jadon Sancho moved on. Dortmund is obviously a club that get the best out of him. He likes it there. They're through the Champions League semi-final as well. So, I don't know. It just feels to me like Jadon Sancho got to Dortmund on a permanent move. If we can get a decent amount of money for him, would make a lot of sense. You may disagree. Let me hear your thoughts on the matter. Another story that's doing the rounds. This one's been going on for a little while now. Now, I saw it on a Celtic website. I think it was Celtic Boys, or Boys spelled B-H-O-Y-S. And it's come, if I can try and sort of remember and unpick the lock, come via, I think this is via Court Offside, who had it from Christian Falk. And this is about Jeremie Frimpong. Now, the reason the Celtic website getting involved in this, and I've also seen it in the Daily Record, another Scottish publication as well, is that Celtic obviously had Frimpong, and I think they've got some sort of deal where if Bayer Leverkusen sell him on and they get a bit of wedge for him, then some of that money will go towards Celtic. So the idea is, or the stories and the reports were, and this has come, I think, originally from Christian Falk, is that Manchester United have actually held talks with Jeremie Frimpong's representatives. I think the term concrete talks was being used. Now, Frimpong obviously is doing just smashing it by Leverkusen. They've just won the title. They're undefeated. I think they're playing at West Ham tonight, I think, in the Europa League. So there's a chance that they could end the season with even more silverware. Frimpong, who's already, I think he won the title, didn't he, when he was at Celtic. So he's had a good career since he started off at Manchester City, I think, as a youngster. He's had a decent career since then. One of the most sort of spoken about and highly sought after fullbacks in the world. He's a bit more of a wing back in it before you all start getting involved. Well, actually, Jay, he's not technically a fullback. He's a bit more of a attacking player. Whatever, you know what I mean. United have been linked with him for quite some time. Latest stories doing the rounds are that there's been these talks held. Would you have him at Old Trafford? I certainly would. Are we going to get him? Is he going to come here? I don't know. I mean, he's not going to have Champions League football if he comes here. That might be one of the reasons he wants to stay. Also, Xabi Alonso's pretty much pledged his future for at least one more season to Leverkusen. Is Frimpong going to want to show the same loyalty and stay for another season and help build on what they've started there at Leverkusen and build on that Bundesliga win? I don't know. Lots of ifs and buts and maybes. We'll have to wait and see. But it is a name with Frimpong that we keep hearing. That's not a word. We keep hearing. And obviously when someone like Christian Falk, who knows his stuff when it comes to the Bundesliga, says that there's talks involved and that something could be happening, then you have to listen to that. So we'll have to wait and see. As always, we'll keep you posted on that one. But it'd be interesting to see. I think Frimpong would be a great signing. We know we've already got Delo and Wan-Bissaka in that position, but they are different types of players. Also, there's question marks on whether one of them, I think Wan-Bissaka, there's a lot of rumours that he may move on in the summer. That'll leave us with one right back. And we've seen the pickle we got ourselves in when we had just two left backs available and we ended up with none. So having two right backs wouldn't be the end of the world, in my humble opinion. I want to talk quickly about last night. Obviously, Manchester City getting knocked out. Always good to see one of your rivals getting knocked out of the Champions League. We were revelling in it. We were doing a live last night, and when the penalties kicked off, I thought they were going to win the Champions League, and I thought they were probably going to do the treble again. So, to be honest with you, I was absolutely buzzing with relief at the fact they didn't. However, it is a bit of a wake-up call, isn't it? Because we're in this situation every single season where we're relying on Real Madrid to get us out of jail, to try and stop Manchester City or Liverpool winning the Champions League. Or even, well, I was celebrating Chelsea winning the Champions League one season because it stopped Manchester City. And it does get a bit tiring, doesn't it? It does get a bit tiring when you're sort of thinking, OK, what's the lesser of some evils? This season, you've even got me cheering on Arsenal in the Premier League, hoping that they're going to win the Premier League because it's a lot better than City winning it again or Liverpool winning it. And you do get fed up, and it'd be great to see Manchester United challenging like we used to. I remember laughing at City fans when they were laughing at us when we got knocked out by Real Madrid in 2013. You remember that awful nanny red card, and now here we are. Listen, I make no apologies. I thought it was hilarious that Manchester City got knocked out, but I'm sick of sort of being on the outside looking in, waiting for someone to do us a favour. United need to get back challenging. Ineos need to sort it out. Get it sorted. Let's get challenging again. I know we're not going to be challenging for the Champions League next season. We ain't even going to be in it. But Manchester United need to get our act together. And last night was just a reminder of that. As Bunk Moreland said, how far we done fell. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe. Going to be back later on with Off the Bar, myself, Stephen Howson, and a special guest, of course. See you on that one. Thanks for watching.